Good evening and welcome to Honeoye Falls-Lima High School as we have a Section 5 Class B Thursday night football game between the visiting Wayne Eagles and the home Honeoye Falls-Lima Cougars. I'm Peter Carosa, joined alongside Steve Bradley for tonight's game. Steve, you want to give us any insight before we get started here tonight?
Well, Peter, I'm expecting a great game here. We've got Wayne coming in with a 2-1 record and HFL 2-0. Coming off a 10-day pause out of an abundance of caution. So both of these teams have really explosive offenses, some great playmakers, but I think the key tonight is just to see how the Cougars are functioning after having 10 days off with just one practice.
Yep, as you mentioned, HFL did not play last week. That game against Mid Lakes was canceled. However, Wayne did play last Friday against Bishop Kearney. They won that game 34-12.
Yes, they did, and it was an impressive fashion. I think the player to watch on the offense, one of their big playmakers, is Dylan Vance. He had a 4-touchdown third quarter last week against Bishop Kearney, and he's a playmaker that is somebody that we really should keep our eyes on tonight.
So before tonight's game, there is going to be a ceremony at midfield in honor of Matt Tribold, who passed away last week. So all the coaches from both Wayne and HFL will be at midfield here. Matt was a longtime sports videographer within Section 5. Worked most recently with 13 Wham.
A week ago today, Wham 13 sports photographer Matt Tribold.
Yeah, and Matt just was a really special guy.
Direct our attention to Brian Donahue.
So HFL Athletic Director Brian Donahue had a prepared statement. Unfortunately, we aren't able to pick his microphone up, but we will do our best to share his message with you.
April 1st, Channel 13 cameraman Matt Tribold passed away unexpectedly. Matt was a huge supporter of high school athletics, and the outpouring of testimonials this past week on social media are evidence that his impact went beyond telling a story or taking a picture. He was a welcome presence at our games, always arriving in shorts. This was his trademark, no matter the weather, and we often teased him about it. Tonight, we wear shorts to pay tribute to Matt and to let his family, his friends, his co-workers know that his life had an impact on us as well. His life mattered, and he will be remembered.
Fans, at this time, we'd ask you to please rise together for a moment of silence.
So they're having a moment of silence here at HFL in honor of Matt.
13 sports photographer Matt Tribold. Thank you. At this time,
So with that, we are going to segue to the national anthem, which will be
the stars, the national
And bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
So with that, we are ready for some football.
And just a really nice ceremony there, Matt. I think they're going to take a group picture of coaches from both Wayne and Honeoye Falls-Lima to honor Matt Trebold. A lot of people here, including our broadcast crew, decked out in shorts just to pay our respects.
Yeah, and for those who could not hear Athletic Director Brian Donahue's message, he did mention the story behind the shorts. Matt almost always was in shorts no matter what the weather was, whether he's covering soccer in November or lacrosse in, March. So, and he's just touched so many different districts during his career, and we had the opportunity to talk to both coaching staffs, and Coach Russ said, I think every school would say that they felt like Matt was their own videographer. It seemed like no matter what sport was being played, you always saw Matt on the sideline, and that's just a testament to his eagerness and willingness to cover Section 5 sports. He's a guy that I know everyone is going to miss from a friendship standpoint, but from a professional standpoint, a devoted guy like Matt is going to be impossible to replace.
And, Dave Marine from Wayne told me something very similar. Matt, wherever he went, he had his shorts on, but he usually had a smile and a fist bump. And he was somebody that knew a ton about college basketball, was excellent at his job. WAM 13 every Tuesday does a high school play of the week, and most of the time it was his work. And one of his great tweets of all time was, I did not choose the frost chose me. And that kind of was a little bit of the story behind the shorts.
So we have the two captains meeting at midfield. Reese Joint for the Cougars and number 50 for the Eagles. That's Noah Cesarski. So it looked like Wayne ultimately won the toss, and they will defer. So HFL will be starting with the ball in this first half.
And I think, Peter, what we'll get is an opportunity to see right away how crisp the Cougars are. In their first two games, one of the most impressive things was the balance on the offense, their ability to just grind it out, run, pass, make up 5 yards, 6 yards of play, and just march down the field. When we were here against Bishop Kearney 2 weeks ago, I think they only punted once. So we'll see if this has had any impact on the offense and the flow, and just we'll see where they are right out of the chute.
So this kickoff is sponsored by, of course, Honeoye Falls Marketplace. Curbside pickup is now available at Honeoye Falls Marketplace Grocery. Lose the frustration of inaccurate orders and keep the convenience of having your groceries ready for drive-through pickup at Honeoye Falls Marketplace. Getting started is easy at HoneoyeFallsMarketplace.com. So deep for the Cougars, number 6, Patrick Lustig, and number 9, Mason Wazenreid. Kicking for the Eagles, number 12, Alec Reynolds.
And Reynolds, Peter, is one of the top-ranked kickers in the state as a sophomore. The ball blew off the tee there, so they'll have to do it again. But I know he's already had a couple of touchbacks, and he could be a weapon in this game. He's got 2 field goals already this year, so if it's a close game, number 12 for Wayne would be a person to keep your eye on.
Reynolds is also the backup quarterback for the Eagles as well. So as Steve said, the ball blew off the tee right at the start there, so we will have a re-kick. This time the ball will be held by a Wayne teammate of Reynolds.
I think that's Jack Wright. That's the holder, number 7.
So let's try this again. Here we go. Kick is off, and that's going to be caught initially by Wazenreid. He's going to leave it for Green. Colt Green still has it. Still on his feet. Going to get tackled at about the 35-yard line.
Great start for the Cougars there. A little trickery on the kickoff, and Colt Green was able to reverse his field and give Honeoye Falls-Lima a great place to start.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for HFL.
In Reese Joint, Peter, the first 2 games was just on fire. He had touchdown passes, 4 against Bishop Kearney, and let's see if they come out throwing, and they're just going to be that offense and just not miss a beat.
So Joint starts from the gun. He'll collect the snap. It'll be a quick screen pass to Green, and he's going to struggle to get back to the line of scrimmage. Looks like it's going to be a loss of about, we'll call it 3 on the play.
And that was just a great open field tackle there by number 9, Andy Hamill, for Wayne. Hamill's one of their key playmakers, and he's a guy that plays both ways and is an impact player on both offense and defense.
So after the loss of yards on first down, Cougars come back out, similar set from the gun. Joint collects the snap. Another quick pass. This time it's to number 9. That's Mason Wazenreed, who's going to get close to the first down marker. We'll have to see where they spot it.
I think they're going to be about 2 yards short, Peter. That was very well done by the Cougars. A great answer. We talk how important it is to have positive plays on first down. They recovered very well and give themselves a makeable third down conversion here.
So 3rd and about 2 for HFL. HFL has been converting about 46.3% of their third down conversions as they take a shot deep. And a late flag flies as the intended receiver for HFL, looks like Wazenreed was
I think it was
tripped
Lustig.
up.
I had 6 on that Lustig. But that's a good break for the Cougars there. It looked at when the ball initially left Joint's hand that it was going to be a tough play to make, but Lustig did a good job getting towards the ball and going to be 15 yards and the drive keeps going.
Yeah, for those of you who tuned in early to see the weather report there, it is sunny skies, 77 degrees. Little windy though. There was a couple special teams players who came out early to the field to do some kicking, and that seemed to be somewhat of a factor, so we'll have to monitor that as this game continues. Cougars set up 1st and 10 at the Wayne 41-yard line. It's going to be a run to Derby, who'll get tripped up after a gain of about, we'll call it 4 yards.
So I think, the Cougars are going to try and get back and get Derby some touches here, and also Meacham. They threw 3 times in a row there, and part of the success of the offense in the first 2 games has been the ability to mix it up. So I think they want to be dictating tempo rather than having the tempo dictated to them.
So the Cougars come out, trips to the bottom of your screen, 2nd and 5. Another pass play here for the Cougars. Joint's going to roll out to his right, looking downfield, slings it, and that's off the fingertips of his wide receiver. That's Nolan Smith for HFL. So incomplete pass will bring up 3rd and 5.
Yep, 3rd and 5. So it's one of those plays where I think the Cougars are in 2-down territory if they want to be. So obviously they want to have a positive play here. Perfect situation. They get the first down, but even if they get halfway there, they give themselves a good chance if they decide to go for it on 4th down.
Bunch set for HFL. 3rd and 5. Another pass play. And it's going to be a shuffle pass there from Joint to the running back. That's Derby, who's going to stumble and bumble at the 10-yard line. So a first down, kind of a little Josh Allen type play.
Yeah, well, it was a fantastic adjustment there by Joint. I think he probably had a chance to make it, but he saw the opportunity with Derby out on the sideline for a big play, and he was able to stop and get the ball off. And then Derby just made a good catch, secured the ball first, and then rambled down the sidelines. The Cougars don't seem to be impacted too much by the layoff right now.
So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 11. So Cougars can still get one more first down here before the goal line. It's going to be a handoff for Derby. He's going to get tripped up.
It's a nice play by Dylan Vance on the defense right there. It looked like the Cougars had the inside run game set up for maybe to pop something, but Vance is a big playmaker, is only a sophomore. Last week he had a defensive touchdown on an interception, and he made a nice play there to stop the Cougars from getting even closer to the goal line.
Yeah, Vance leads the team with 17.5 tackles this season. So 2nd and 7 for the Cougars. Derby shifts to Joint's right. It's pump fake to the left, and he'll lob it up, and that's going to be caught. Touchdown, HFL.
Wow. What a fantastic adjustment there by Patrick Lustig. It was one of those passes that Derby hung it up there a little bit, and let his receiver make a play. Coach Marine talked about the skill and talent of the HFL receivers in our pregame conversation. He says they catch almost everything that's near them, and that was a great example by Patrick Lustig right there.
Patrick Lustig able to find the Meehan Architecture end zone as the Cougars strike first in this one with just over 8:20 to go in this first half, as the point after attempt is good.
Yeah, and I think if you're Coach John Russ, you can't be any happier. The first two plays were a little shaky. They got the big first down penalty call on the pass interference, and once they got that first down, Cougars really started clicking, mixing the balance, and Reese Joint picked up exactly where he left off with a great pass to Patrick Lustig for the touchdown.
Yep, and that point after attempt was kicked by Xavier Carbonell, who is now 7 for 7 on the season.
So with the Cougars going on defense here, we'll get to see the Wayne offense, which also plays a spread attack and likes to move the ball around mix. They're a little bit more run-oriented than HFL, but Mason Blankenberg, the Wayne quarterback, is just a talented multi-sport athlete, makes plays with both his arms and his legs, and it'll be interesting to see how the Cougars are able to handle the Wayne offense here.
So this kickoff will be brought to you by Honeoye Falls Marketplace. Curbside pickup is now available at Honeoye Falls Marketplace Grocery. Lose the frustration of inaccurate orders and keep the convenience of having your groceries ready for drive-through pickup at Honeoye Falls Marketplace. Getting started is easy at HoneoyeFallsMarketplace.com. So back deep for the Eagles, number 9, Andy Hamill, and I believe
Michael Prentice is with him, number 82.
Number 82. And it'll be Prentice who scoops the ball off the carpet. And he'll get tackled at about the 30-yard line by a host of Cougars. So out trots the Eagles, led, of course, by junior quarterback Mason Blankenberg, who, as you were saying, Steve, is a multi-talented athlete. He actually hit the winning shot for the Eagles with 7.8 seconds left in the 2021 Section 5 Class B1 basketball championship. Steve, you even had the opportunity to chat with Mason on your radio show.
We did, and he's just an impressive young man. Basketball is his favorite sport, but 8 days after the end of the basketball season, he was on the football field leading the Eagles to a victory over Palmyra Macedon. And there they go right to Dylan Vance on the first play up the middle. And they're going to go tempo here, too.
2nd and 6 after a gain of 4.
So 2nd and 6, pickup of 4 by Vance. And again, right back to Vance. And this time he'll fall ahead. He's going to be short of the line to gain. Going to be about 3rd and we'll call it 3. So back-to-back running plays for Wayne.
They are, and I think that, Wayne's got to be happy with those first 2 plays there. Big 3rd down coming up, though, because after being scored on in the opening drive, you want to keep possession.
So that time it's a pass to Vance. Little swing pass out of the backfield. That's incomplete, so it's going to bring up 4th down for the Eagles in a early decision as they find themselves 4th down at their own 37. Looks like they're going to bring the punting unit onto the field. This is Alec Reynolds.
And Reynolds, as we mentioned, is one of the top sophomore place kickers in the state. He has a good leg. His punting average isn't great. It's around 25 per punt right now. But I'm sure that the Eagles are looking to flip the field position game right here. And for the Cougar defense, exactly the start you want.
And here's the punt, end over end. Going to be caught by the Cougars. It's number 2 for HFL.
James Killenbeck with a return there. Nice return. He caught it about the 30 and got outside and brought it over the 40. So great field position here for HFL. And the Cougars put a good rush there. There was some pressure on Reynolds, and the special teams, we didn't talk about them a lot, but they can certainly, as they can in any game, impact in the field position game, early advantage to HFL.
So HFL will set up 1st and 10 at their own 41. Check that 42-yard line. Again, operating out of the shotgun is Joint. This time it's a handoff to Derby straight up the center, and he's going to get first down yardage.
Oh, great run there by Jacob Derby. He had a nice little seam there off of the right side or the left side, and he just followed his blockers, and 18-yard gain. That's a perfect start to a drive.
So the Cougars find themselves back in Wayne territory. Ball at the 40-yard line.
And early on, Peter, you've got to be impressed with the timing. I know that HFL did virtual practices during their pause, but you can't simulate game conditions. But their timing seems to be pretty good, at least in the first drive, midway through the first quarter here, at the start of the second drive.
So on first down, Cougars going to throw it. Joint fires it deep, and that's going to be caught.
That's Lustig again, and you got to feel like the Cougars think they see something out wide with him, because they've been going to him very often. Another great adjustment on the ball, and it's first and goal. I mean, Lustig has tremendous size at 6'4", 195, and that's a matchup that he's out there on number 88, who is Brady Chimenti, who's 5'10", 165, and HFL's gone there twice already for big plays.
And Lustig had somewhat of a quiet game 2 weeks ago against Kearney. He led the team in receiving yards week 1, but cooled off, and he's back here with 2 big catches so far for HFL, as we have a rush play. That's Derby, who's going to get chopped down at about the 4-yard line.
So, and you know, if you're not, you got halfway home on your first down play for the Cougars. So really, they have every option they want at their disposal right now. When we saw them a couple weeks ago, they did a nice little quick swing pass for a touchdown here. So they can do anything they want, and they've got the tempo going to keep Wayne guessing.
So second and goal for HFL from the 4. About 5:30 left in this first quarter. It's going to be a handoff to Derby. And again, he's going to be just short. Tackled by about 1-yard line. So it'll be 3rd and 1 for HFL.
And good push again there. I mean, Derby has had some great holes to run through. And Cougars are right there knocking on the door. We'll see what they do to punch it in here.
Cougars going with their 2 running back set with Meacham and Derby. This time it's a pass. Joint rolling out. Throws across his body, and that's going to go out of bounds, looking towards Nolan Smith, the wide receiver for HFL. So that'll bring up 4th down. Got to expect that the Cougars will go for it here.
100%. When you try a pass like that on 3rd down, you're going for the touchdown, but you're also saying that if we don't connect it here, we're going to go for it again. We have the confidence that we have this extra play to punch it in. I wouldn't be surprised if it's just Derby again off the left side.
So Derby moves to Joint's right. Again, Joint's going to roll out, and he's going to fire, and it's intercepted in the end zone by number 24 for the Eagles.
Wow, what a play there by
Alexander Garrow with the turnover in the end zone.
Garrow's a freshman there, and he's made a ton of big plays for the Eagles this season. And as Joint rolled out, looked for time, trying to throw across his body. That's a tough throw in a tight space, and Garrow made a great adjustment and came up with a huge play there for the Eagles.
Yeah, the last 2 throws for Joint were across his body, and that second one, of course, resulted in the turnover. And Garrow, he caught it in the end zone, but he elected to take it out. So Eagles will set up at their own 5-yard line, as we will have, looks like a timeout.
Yeah, Wayne took a timeout there. When Garrow made that interception, it looked like he may have had the potential for a bigger play to bring it out. I don't fault him for that. I more would credit the HFL offense for the way that they played defense and limited. You know, you don't like to see the turnover, but they made the tackle they needed to make, and you know they give the Eagles a 1st and 96 really.
This timeout brought to you by Main Street Cafe. Take a break with Main Street Cafe, your hometown cafe located at 58 North Main Street in the village of Honeoye Falls. Coffee, espresso, smoothies, shakes, paninis, salads, pizza, and more. Be sure to check out their daily specials on Facebook.
So with Reese Joint, Peter, that's just his 2nd interception of the season against 7 touchdowns. And the HFL offense has been so efficient and so crisp. I think they're going to lean on the D here a little bit to try and keep that early momentum that they had. They appeared to be looking like they were going in for a second score, but now we'll see what the defense can do after forcing a 3 and out on the first possession.
So first down for Wayne. They'll hand off to Hamill, who's going to get stood up by a pack of Cougars. Looks like he may be tackled behind the line of scrimmage. It's going to be close.
That was a very nice job, though, by the HFL defense. And number 56, I think, was right in the heart of that Carson joint. Sophomore center made a great play to limit that play and actually get a loss.
So it is a loss of 1, so it'll bring up 2nd and 11. This time Wayne will throw the ball. And
there we go with Blankenberg and his athleticism right there, Peter. It looked like he was going to be stopped for a safety. He did a little stop and go, and he came out, and 2 tacklers missed him, and to get anything there was a great play. And I think, Blankenberg, you don't have him down until his knees touching the ground.
Yeah, nice play there by Blankenberg to get out of the end zone and pick up a couple yards, make it a more manageable third. It'll be 3rd and 4. With about 3.5 to go in the first quarter.
Yep, and one thing that HFL does with their playmakers is they put them in different positions and give different looks, so you can't tell necessarily what they're going to do by the personnel on the field. You have to wait till they line up.
And it is a counter play by Hamill, who's got first down yardage. Multiple flags on the field as Hamill's tackled at about the 35-yard line. So a big pickup there for the Eagles, could be coming back.
Yeah, I mean, that hole was huge on the right side of the line. It was a great delay play. The trap was there. Hamill had a lot of room to run, but somebody must have grabbed a shirt and turned a defender, because more than one official was eager to throw the laundry there.
It's going to be a chop block, so 2 fouls. There's a chop block against Wayne and a hold. So we'll see which one the Cougars elect to accept. They're going to go with the...
They're going to take the chop block and decline the hold. I think they pick up an extra 1.5 yards with the mark off there, because it's half the distance to the goal, so it's 5 yards versus 6.5. But when you're pushing somebody into a 3rd down situation, every inch matters. So another big play coming up.
So the ball will be back at the Wayne 5-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 10 for the Eagles.
And I think Wayne really had a look that they wanted there. That was a big play, and Hamill is one of their top playmakers. He's a guy that they want to have the ball in his hands, and just unfortunate for the Eagles and a break for the Cougars that the penalties were committed.
So 3rd and 10 is going to be a pass play. That's going to be incomplete. Blankenberg was looking for Michael Prentice, and he couldn't haul that in. So that'll stop the clock and bring up 4th down for Wayne. So another punt here for the Eagles.
And Prentice is a freshman. He's one of the young playmakers that might be Coach Marine told me he may be the fastest player on the team, the fastest player on the field. That pass came out. It was into the window. Came in a little bit hot, a little bit high. I think if given the chance, they'd want that play again. But break for the Cougars, who could get very good field position again.
So punt here for the Eagles is a nice one, as it's going to take a nice Wayne bounce before Killenbeck scoops it up for HFL. He'll dance around and eventually end up in Wayne territory.
Yeah, nice job there by Killenbeck. In a perfect world, you want that ball caught in the air, and you're guaranteed to start on the plus territory. But once the ball got up in the wind and got over his head, I thought he was going to maybe run away from it and let it roll. Made a good decision to pick up the ball and got 12 or 14 yards back, so that the Cougars are able to start again in Wayne territory.
HFL winning the battle of field possession here to start this one. 1st and 10 from the 47. Cougars operating out of the gun, doubles formation. It's going to be a handoff to Derby.
And 7 yards on first down. I mean, you take that every time if you're HFL. And that's one of the advantages of having such talented playmakers on the perimeter. There's fewer people in the middle. When the offensive line's able to win its battles, space opens up and you're able to pop it there.
And that was a critical tackle there by Alexander Garrow for the Eagles, because when you have Jacob Derby full head of steam running downhill, if Garrow didn't get him, there was a good chance that could have gone for a lot more.
Yeah, and you said the key word there, downhill. He had momentum, and now Joint's scrambling, looking to make something happen.
And Joint will ultimately just throw it out of bounds. Good decision there. Live to see another day. Been a couple plays here for Joint where he's been kind of, looks like a little bit of happy feet dancing around in the backfield. And that time, after throwing an interception in the end zone on the last possession, he just chucks it out of bounds.
Well, and that could be a little bit of a spillover from the pause too. You think about the timing, and if you're off schedule just a little bit, you know, the brain might start going faster than the body, and you're looking and you're trying to make a play. So we'll see if they're able to settle down and find the rhythm again.
So 3rd and 5 for the Cougars as we get some movement pre-snap. Looks like that's going to be defensive encroachment. Not sure who it was. Looks like it was either a combination of, I believe it might have been number 57. That's William Seymour for the Eagles defensive tackle.
And I mean, the big thing there, Peter, is it gives the Cougars a first down without having to snap the ball. And that's 2 defensive penalties on the Eagles that have resulted in first downs. And you thought maybe HFL might struggle with penalties early, but right now it's been Wayne that had the hard time adjusting.
So first down for HFL. Joint's going to load it up, looking for Smith, who's got the toe tap, and he's in.
Reese Joint is just doing such a good job getting the ball up in the air tonight and letting his receivers adjust to it. There is a little bit of wind coming that way, so that's not an easy throw. And 25 yards downfield, Smith has good size, as does Lustig, and the big receivers are making big plays.
Nolan Smith is the only wide receiver on the only starting wide receiver for the Cougars who didn't start a season ago. Coming into tonight, he had 3 catches for 27 yards as he sets up the Cougars' 1st and goal from the 6-yard line. Here's a handoff to Derby, who's going to score for HFL. Derby finds the Meehan Architecture end zone, and HFL will extend their lead.
They will, and that was just a super job by the offensive line, creating a huge hole there. Derby had a lot of room to run, and he just punched it in. That's a perfect goal line call and a perfect outcome for the Cougars.
So Carbonell comes out here for the point after attempt. And the kick is up, and it's good. So Cougars extend their lead to 14 here with about 97 seconds left in this first quarter of play.
And we've talked in every broadcast about the balance of the HFL offense, and that was it on perfect display there. Joint goes up top and gets a long play down the sideline to Smith to set up 1st and goal, and then the Cougars come right back and ram it down the middle with Derby. They're very difficult to defend, Peter, and 14-0 after 10.5 minutes. You've got to feel pretty good that these guys haven't been really affected too much by having the pause.
Yeah, and we can't stress it enough, to be virtual for that amount of time. They only had 1 in-person practice, and it was yesterday. It was 2 hours and 45 minutes, which is much longer than a typical practice, and it was just trying to find a balance between getting the players back in the swing of things but not pushing the guys too hard. You know, you didn't want to tire them out before, the day before a game. So certainly it seems like HFL did strike that balance yesterday as they have come out fast here, up 14 in the first quarter. As we have a kickoff here brought to you by Honeoye Falls Marketplace. Curbside pickup is now available at Honeoye Falls Marketplace Grocery. Lose the frustration of inaccurate orders and keep the convenience of having your groceries ready for drive-through pickup at Honeoye Falls Marketplace. Getting started is easy at HoneoyeFallsMarketplace.com.
Wow, that's a super tackle, and I think it's Killenbeck again. We've seen him on the punt return team make a couple of good plays for nice gains. And Garrow was one of the upfield receivers, and he did have some room and a nice adjustment by Killenbeck to make the tackle. There is a flag on the field, so let's see what's going on.
And this one's going to go against the Eagles. This is their 4th penalty of the game.
It is their 4th, Peter, and they've given up 42 yards in penalties in the first quarter, and that's not a good recipe for trying to come back against a team as potent as the Cougars.
So the Eagles will now start at their own 18-yard line.
And this drive is really critical for Wayne. They have gone basically 3 and out on their first 2 possessions. They need to make something happen here to slow this Cougar train down.
And this time it'll be a run by the quarterback, Mason Blankenberg. Will pick up about 16, 17 yards. That's a first down.
It is a first down. A nice job on the read there by Blankenberg. Pulled the ball back. And, he's one of the key playmakers at his size, 6'2", 185. And, okay, now that's going to be an even bigger play because a late flag is a personal foul on the Cougars. So that 16-yard play turns into a 30-yard play, and Wayne seems to be in business.
Yeah, that is a big penalty for the Eagles as they will now set up at their own 49-yard line. So after their first down, they get the extra yardage from the HFL penalty as Blankenberg passes out to Hamill, cut back inside. He'll get tackled at the 42-yard line, or check that 47-yard line.
And that's a nice play there by number 8 on the HFL defense, because Hamill's a player that you get him in space, and Andrew Childs just broke him down and limited the gain. A 4-yard gain you can live with, but a 40-yard gain, not so much.
So we are under now a minute to play here in this first quarter. 2nd and 7 for the Eagles. It's going to be a handoff to Vance. Vance has some running room, and he's going to pick up the first down and more.
Very powerful run there by Vance. And Coach Marine says that he rarely goes down on first contact. And you can see there just the way that he gets his body squared and gets his legs going. And Dylan Vance is a handful.
They had called Vance's number the first 3 offensive plays for Wayne, and we hadn't heard his name until the last play as Wayne goes tempo here. 1st and 10. Again, back to Vance. He makes a man miss, still on his feet, and he'll get tackled at the 26-yard line with 15 seconds left. We'll see if Wayne can get one last play in. Looks like we are going to go to the end of the first quarter, score 14-0 in favor of HFL.
And I think Riley Kester there for the Cougars sent a little message with that physical tackle. This game's going to be a physical game, and with Wayne moving the ball, HFL wants to stand up, and that's two first downs back to back, and the Cougars really are going to probably talk a lot in this change of quarters about how to slow Wayne down.
So tonight's game brought to you by Alexander Enterprises. For nearly 30 years, Alexander Enterprises has been one of Rochester's most trusted contractors. They specialize in home remodeling, renovations, additions, kitchens, bathrooms, garages, new builds, decks, and painting. Give them a call before you start your next project at 624-9120. And Fly Control Services, a family-owned and operated professional pest control company serving all of Western New York and the Finger Lakes for 4 decades. Inside or out, home or business, they'll help you keep the bugs away. Give them a call at 704-8329.
So, super first quarter there for the Cougars. This is a key matchup in Class B. Peter, I really think that the winner of this game that could be in line for a home playoff game. And, that with the sectional setup this year with just 4 teams and every game being played at a higher seed, there other than just taking care of business tonight, there can be long-term implications here.
Yeah, as of right now, Batavia in that 1 seed at 3-0, 5 average sectional points. HFL in the 2 spot, they got 4.5, 2-0, and then only behind a half point is the Wayne Eagles at 2-1.
And of course, head-to-head is a huge tiebreaker at the end for that too. So that winning this game can do more.
Pass play there for the Eagles is incomplete. Blankenberg was looking for Jack Wright.
And Jack Wright is the heart of the HFL defense, but he's also a player that can come into that H-back role and make big plays on offense. Coach Marine says when Jack Wright's going well, that usually means the Eagles are playing well.
So it'll be 3rd and 3 for Wayne at the HFL 26-yard line. So a key opportunity here for the Eagles to try and answer those 2 first-quarter touchdowns by the Eagles, as Blankenberg will call his own number. Looks like he'll get a face mask call as well. He's going to be short of the first down marker, but should get 15 yards on top of that.
Yeah, that was the classic case of letting your big quarterback put his head down and move forward. And the Cougars did what they could to stop him. It's only a 5-yard penalty, but it's enough to give them the first down and extend the drive.
So 1st and 10 now for Wayne at the 20-yard line. It's going to be a handoff to Vance. Vance will pick up 7 yards.
Yeah, that's Wanzen Reed on the bottom of the pile there, making the tackle for the Cougars. But good job by that left side of the Wayne line, making a hole and giving Vance some room.
2nd down this time. It's a handoff.
It was Jack Wright on the carry from the H-back spot. Looked like the Eagles were trying to mix it up. They'd gone to Vance several times and were trying to see if they could maybe surprise them with the fullback there.
Yeah, Wright is definitely a little bit bigger back as the ball's on the turf.
Huge play by the HFL defense. Let's make sure they fell on it. But it looked like the handoff, there was a little bit of instantaneous contact when Vance was getting the ball, and huge stop right there for HFL.
So Wayne comes up empty-handed as they had a red zone opportunity, but a fumble results in a turnover for HFL.
And penetration by the line was really what caused that. There was not much time in the backfield. Everything was disrupted, and the Cougars made a huge play.
So Joint operating out of the shotgun, low snap, he hands off.
And that play, Peter, you called it with a low snap. The timing was a little bit off. I think that the Cougars will kind of, no gain, but no harm either. Sometimes you just got to take your medicine, and that's a play where that happened.
Yeah, Derby was only able to get back. Actually, no, he will ultimately gain 1 yard, so it was a positive play for the Cougars. Will bring up 2nd and 9 at the 16.
And I would think that the Cougars might be looking to put the ball up and get to those big receivers again.
2nd down, it's a pass play. Joint's going to step up, fire it, and that's on the ground. They're going to say it's an incomplete pass.
Yeah, he was going for Smith, and it looks like Reese Joint is channeling his inner Tim Tebow a little bit. We've seen 2 or 3 jump passes so far. That he turned something into potentially a big play there. I know Smith would have hoped to hang on, but Reese Joint just created the opportunity there, and he's making plays all over the field on the offense. It's amazing to watch him game in and game out, just some of the things he pulls off.
Now, Steve, I am going to have to disagree with you on that one. I would say he was channeling his inner Doug Flutie, not his inner Tim Tebow, as we have 3rd and 9 for HFL. Going to be a play action. Here's another pass play. Joint looking deep, and he overthrows his man. Again, looking towards Nolan Smith. So it'll be 4th and 9 for the Cougars. So they will bring their punt team out.
And that's a huge hold for Wayne after turning the ball over in the red zone and HFL coming out and getting the ball with the 2-score lead. They made 3 good plays on defense, and the Cougars might want to have that 2nd down play back, but you don't get that. And HFL or Wayne did what they needed to do to stem the tide a little bit.
So Carbonell with his heels at his own 3-yard line will punt the ball here. Bad snap, able to recover it though, has more than enough time to get a nice line drive kick. Takes an HFL bounce, and Vance is going to let that thing roll. And that's now inside the 15-yard line. Still rolling before the Cougars ultimately touch it. So that'll be downed at the 14-yard line. So a tremendous kick there after a botched snap ultimately pins the Wayne Eagles deep inside their own 20-yard line.
And more so the kick, it was the ability to field the snap and not take a knee deep in your own territory. That that play by Carbonell really flipped the field. Even just getting the ball off was a victory, and then to have it roll an extra 25, 30 yards, that's huge. And as we talked about a couple weeks ago, he's a guy that probably normally wouldn't be playing football because he's a soccer player, and he just made, a huge play tonight.
Absolutely just flipped the field. And we talked about the field position in the first quarter, and HFL makes a big play there on special teams as Blankenberg is going to be sacked.
Wow, that's Lustig again, right? Number 6. He's all over the field tonight. And both of these teams have a lot of playmakers on both sides of the ball, so you're going to hear us saying several names very frequently, but Lustig came out of that linebacker position, read the play, and did a great job.
So it'll bring up 2nd and we'll call it about 15. Here's a handoff for the Eagles. It's Vance. Takes a pair of Cougars to bring him down. That's Lustig, and I believe number
Yates,
57,
right?
Nolan Yates for HFL, who brings down Vance after he picks up decent yardage to bring up 3rd and 7.
Vance made a couple of nice cuts on that play, and that just shows how important the first down play was, because if you gain 8 yards on 2nd down after a normal first down, you're looking at 3rd and short. It's still 3rd and 8 here for Wayne.
So pass play, it's going to result in Blankenberg rushing. It's going to be close, but I think he's got the first down. Yep, first down.
Yeah, he just got north of the 25, and that's 2 huge back-to-back plays that Wayne made with their feet. And Blankenberg's just dangerous. He's such a competitive athlete that he does whatever it takes to help his team succeed.
Now the pass rush there for HFL was decent. They forced Blankenberg to have to step up into the pocket, but he's just dangerous with his legs and ultimately made the better play, as it's 1st and 10 from the Wayne 25-yard line. It's going to be a throw.
Wow, through 2 sets of hands there. That was a little bit hot. And going back to that 3rd down play, I mean, the responsibilities in maintaining contain are so important with somebody that can do multiple things to hurt you. And tonight, Blankenberg's legs, at least early on, are a little bit more dangerous than his arm. A few throws have been off, but Wayne has done a nice job of rebounding from negative plays.
And here's a handoff to Vance. He's going to get dropped after a pickup of 1.
Yep, that looks like number 66 for the Cougars down at the bottom of that pile, William Zora. And, that's 2 big ones in a row. And, Wayne, we've kind of been staying at the status quo here, punching it out since the 2nd touchdown. This is a big 3rd down for both teams.
3rd and 9 from the 26. And Wayne will operate out of the shotgun, trips to the top of your screen. It's going to be a pass. Blankenberg has to step up and run with it, and he's going to be about 3 yards shy.
Nice play there by Nolan Yates to bring Blankenberg down after a 7-yard gain. He is just so dangerous. I mean, if he doesn't see his read right out of the play, he can adjust. And, 7 yards is a good play on 3rd down, but they needed 11. So Cougars should get the ball back. Let's see if the wind has anything to do with this punt, Peter. It's been a little bit tricky.
Reynolds with his, we got a little bit of trickery as Vance, it's going to be, looked like they had their punting unit. Now it looks like they were just trying to draw the Cougars offside. A little bit of trickery. They had Reynolds back there, and then he shifted, and number 32, Sean Nealis for the Wayne Eagles came under center, but in any case, Wayne elects to take a timeout, which is brought to you by Main Street Cafe. Do you need a timeout? Take a break with Main Street Cafe, your hometown cafe located at 58 North Main Street in the village of Honeoye Falls. Coffee, espresso, smoothies, shakes, paninis, salads, pizza, and more. Main Street Cafe prides itself on their fresh, made-to-order food and daily specials.
That's strictly a down and distance call right there by the Eagles. The timeout doesn't hurt them, but if the Cougars are on discipline and jump offside, that's the first down you need to sustain the drive. So, you know, it was interesting formation. You're moving some guys around, but HFL in the end did a good job of being patient and letting Wayne ride it out.
So here's Reynolds deep for the punt. End over end. It's going to be a short kick out of bounds at about midfield.
And it looked like it just got in the wind and stopped, Peter. It looked like it went up and then it just never turned over and came down. And the wind seems to be blowing out of the south that way, and it's a good break for the Cougars, who will start on their own 49.
Yeah, certainly when you have wind like we do here tonight, you really got to put a very tight spiral on that punt so it can cut through the wind, and if you don't, it's just going to get caught right up in it. As the Cougars set up 1st and 10 at their own 49-yard line.
Or you do what Carbonell did, and you get it to go end over end, and you get the 20 yards roll at the end. It doesn't have to all be in the air.
So Joint's going to cough up the ball, and it's going to be his second turnover of the night. That's recovered by Andy Hamill for the Wayne Eagles. So another costly turnover for HFL. Joint, who doesn't have too many rushing attempts this year. In fact, coming into tonight, he only had a total of 4 rushing attempts, and I don't know if he just dropped it or if a player for Wayne was able to get a hand on it, but ultimately ball ended up on the carpet and it was covered up quickly by the Wayne Eagles.
So we got motion there on Wayne, which will back him up 5. Going back to the fumble by Joint, I think somebody, and I didn't see which number, got the hand around and was able to punch it out from behind because the ball went almost on a line right to where Hamill was, and he was able to cover it. And I thought the Cougars had something going there. They were going to have probably a 5 or 6 yard game, if not more. But then the ball came out, and it was another stand-up play by the Wayne defense that, after the first 2 touchdowns, has made some good plays to slow the Cougars down.
So after the penalty on first down, it'll be 1st and 15. Handoff to number 24 for the Eagles. That's Garrow, and he's going to be tackled in the backfield.
Yeah, that's a great play by 58 for the Cougars. That's Mitchell Bowling, and he did a great job just stringing the play out and then wrapping Garrow in the backfield and turning it into 2nd and long, another 5-yard loss.
So here's a handoff for Vance, and he's going to get caught after a pickup of 3 yards. So it'll be 3rd and about 5 for Wayne.
It's actually 3rd and 15. There's 2 sticks to get because of that penalty. And, you know, we talk about that all the time, Peter, is first down and going backwards. So it's a good situation here for the Cougars that they're going to force Wayne to make a play, although seeing how they lined up the last time, maybe they've got 2 plays in them.
So 3rd and 15 for Wayne. It's going to be a pass play. And Blankenberg's going to go down. He's going to be sacked. I believe that's number 57, Nolan Yates for the Cougars.
Yep, great job there by Nolan Yates. It was Bulling and Yates who met at the quarterback, and in the turnover, at least apparently at this point, is not gonna hurt the Cougars, who should be getting the ball back here in relatively good field position.
And Yates has really stepped up these last couple defensive possessions for HFL. Has made a plethora of plays as Reynolds comes out for the punt. This time he's able to get a better spiral on it, and it's going to take a bounce and move a little bit in favor of HFL before Wayne downs it at the 37-yard line. So with 4:14 to go in this second quarter, HFL is going to get the ball back. Again, decent starting field position.
Yeah, and I think HFL, you're really looking to have a drive here. You know, in the NFL, they talk about the 4-minute offense all the time, where you try to run the clock down at the end of the half or end of the game. HFL definitely wants to score, but if they can score and chew up time, that's kind of the perfect formula.
Cougars coming out in a trips formation to the bottom of your screen. Joint hands off. This is Derby And a nice power run there. He gets up past midfield. That's going to be a first down for HFL.
Great job there by Jacob Derby running through contact, too. He probably was 3 or 4 yards downfield when he made first contact. He was able to spin out of it and get the ball over midfield. Great first down, great play.
So after the first down run, Cougars will have the ball at the Wayne 49-yard line. Doubles formation, and it's going to be a handoff this time to Derby again, who's going to be tackled in the backfield for a loss.
Yeah, Devin Forrest beat his man on the line, came in and made a nice play. Just a good read, beat his man right off the split there, and came in, and he's one of the defensive ends, and Coach Marine has been very pleased with the play of his defensive ends through the first 3 games. Now they're flopping the defensive ends, and they're bringing Forrest over to the other side.
2nd and 12 for HFL. Joint's going to throw the ball.
Well, Lustig could be gone here. What a play, that screen, the slip screen, and there goes Lustig all the way to the end zone.
And the screen pass results in a touchdown for HFL. Patrick Lustig finds the Meehan architecture for the 2nd time tonight.
And just a real solid play call there. I credit to the HFL offensive coordinator for making that call. They were able to suck in the Wayne defense a little bit. Lustig picked up a block, and then he was gone. And so much for taking 4 minutes to score for the Cougars, too.
And we have some pre-snap movement.
Yeah, a bunch of guys in the middle of the line were getting a little anxious on their rush.
We'll have to see who it's on. If it's on the defense, if the Cougars elect to do something different, it's going to be on the offense, so that'll move the ball back. So Carbonell will have to kick 5 yards further back.
I'm not familiar with that signal, Peter. I wonder if that was an illegal snap or something like that. It looked like it was a 10-yard. That was a 10-yard penalty.
Yeah, it was 10 yards. So Carbonell is going to be kicking from the 20, so it'll be a 30-yard point after attempt. He had a field goal attempt against Bishop Kearney. It was a similar distance. He missed that one, so this will certainly be one of his longest. Here's the snap, the hold. The kick is up, and it's good.
Plenty of leg, too. He did have the wind behind him, but anytime that your operation is moved back, your percentages go down. But Carbonell with a great answer there, and he boomed that thing through.
So he remains perfect, and HFL extends their lead 21-0 with 2:57 left in the second quarter.
And, I mean, the Cougars are right where they want to be. The defense is, you've got to be impressed with the defense. The Wayne offense is pretty good and has some good playmakers. And right now they've forced Wayne to make long drives and have a lot of plays. And the Eagles have not been able to finish. Cougars' big playability in the passing game has been the difference here with Lustig and Smith making the big plays to get HFL great field position and then finishing off the drives with runs and passes.
So this kickoff brought to you by Honeoye Falls Marketplace. Curbside pickup is now available at Honeoye Falls Marketplace Grocery. Lose the frustration of inaccurate orders and keep the convenience of having your groceries ready for drive-through pickup at Honeoye Falls Marketplace. Getting started is easy at HoneoyeFallsMarketplace.com. So with just under 3 minutes to go here in the first half, Wayne finds itself down 21 points. They still have a decent amount of time to work with, and they do start the second half with the ball. So if they can put a nice drive together, try and get some points on the board, go to half and then get the ball back, this thing could look a little bit better shortly for the Eagles.
You're reading my mind. That's what the opportunity that you're hoping if you're Wayne that you can have is a chance to score here and come out with the ball and then make it a one-possession game early in the second half.
So that was a interesting maneuver there by HFL. They had Reese Joint come out and kind of just kick a sky ball and try and maybe get Wayne to make a mistake, but the player there for the Eagles knew exactly what to do, call for the fair catch, and was able to just reel in the ball, and the Eagles will set up at the 29-yard line.
The other thing there too, Peter, is you keep the ball out of the hands of Hamill and Prentice, two of the faster guys, so you don't, give up, score a touchdown and then potentially give up a big play coming back. I think the HFL coaching staff is saying if you're going to score on us, you're going to have to earn it.
So first down is a screen pass to number 24.
Ball's out. Cougars are on it.
Cougars pick up the fumble.
Can we get a number on who recovered that one for HFL?
It's number 9. It's Mason Wanzenreed at the bottom of the pile. So Cougar defense making a big play there. That was Garrow who made the catch, made a couple of moves. I'm not sure who sprung the ball loose, but Wanzenreed was definitely Johnny on the spot there. And now the Cougars are really looking to put the foot down, score here. If you're up 4 touchdowns at halftime, that's not something that I expected coming into this game. I didn't expect them to be up 3 touchdowns either. I thought it would be a little bit closer.
So trips to the bottom of your screen. Joint will be again from the shotgun. Derby moves in motion on first down. It's a handoff to Derby, and he'll pick up about 2 yards. So Cougars, like you said, Steve, have a big opportunity here in Wayne territory to try and extend their lead with 2.5 minutes clock ticking.
Yeah, I think they're controlling the game here. They're not in a rush. They know that they have big play capabilities, and they're mixing in the run and the pass and just kind of being the Cougars that we've seen through 2.5 games this year.
2nd and 8 for HFL. It's going to be a pass play for the Cougars. That's to Green. Green is going to get them up to the, call it 27-yard line, so it'll be 3rd and 4 for HFL.
And I thought they may call a timeout here, but they're going to keep the clock rolling, keep the offense on the field, and again, they seem very comfortable with their tempo.
Yeah, and you got to expect this is probably 4-down territory for HFL.
I do. Maybe get one more first down. We saw what Carbonell can do, but I think that we'd be stretching his range here if there's no first down. Or draw the Eagles offside, and you get the penalty. You get the third penalty via the third first down via penalty in the first half.
Yeah, that was number 57, William Seymour, jumping offside from the defensive tackle position.
And Wayne has had 5 penalties in the first half, Peter. 3 have directly resulted in first down. So not a huge high number, but the impact of those has been huge.
So it'll give the Cougars a first down here at the 27-yard line. It's going to be a pass play. Joint looks, fires, and that's going to be caught. Touchdown. Mason Wazenreed for the Cougars. He finds the Meehan Architecture end zone, and a big pitch and catch play there extends the HFL lead now at 27-0.
And Reese Joint there with a fantastic pump fake to get the defense to bite. Wanzenreed ran right by the cornerback, and he was wide open. I mean, that was a 25-yard touchdown because there was only 25 yards to go. It could have been a 75-yard touchdown. Beautifully executed.
And that's a play. We unfortunately don't have replay, so I can't see exactly what happened, but that's a play that HFL loves to run where they have the pump fake and then go deep, kind of like a wheel route type look, as looks like that point after attempt might have been blocked.
Yeah, or it just might have come off his foot funny. Something was off from the whole thing. That's his first miss of the season, Carbonell, but the Cougars with 2 touchdowns in the last 4 minutes here of the first half. This game has really swung way in favor of HFL at 27-0 now.
Yeah, at this point, Wayne's just got to try and put together a decent drive with 1:25 to go here in the first half. Getting points would be very crucial as they find themselves down 4 possessions in this first half.
And Reese Joint, we've talked about him being just an outstanding athlete who's going to play 5 sports this year. He did have the 2 turnovers in this half, so he hasn't played a perfect game. But when he's on and he's hot, the HFL offense is very, very hard to stop. And he puts such touch on those long balls that the receivers are able to adjust and make huge plays.
So this kickoff brought to you by Honeoye Falls Marketplace. Curbside pickup is now available at Honeoye Falls Marketplace Grocery. Lose the frustration of inaccurate orders and keep the convenience of having your groceries ready for drive-through pickup at Honeoye Falls Marketplace. Getting started is easy at HoneoyeFallsMarketplace.com. As that kick is just going to trickle out of bounds at the 3-yard line, so that'll result in a penalty against the Cougars. Ball will get placed up at the, check that, they are going to elect a re-kick.
So, I mean, I think the high school rule is probably different from the NFL. The NFL, you'd get the ball on the 40, and an offense would always take that. I think with the Wayne playmakers and the score of the game right now, they're thinking that maybe that we can bust a play here and get back in it with a return.
So the kick will be now from the HFL 35-yard line instead of the 40-yard line, as that was Carbonell who kicked that one. We saw Joint with the sky kick earlier. And here is Carbonell's second attempt here. Booming kick back deep. And Prentice is going to muff it at the 10, able to recover it. And he drops a ball. It's on the turf, and that's going to be recovered by HFL at the 15-yard line.
Wow, what a play by the HFL special teams there.
And I believe that was number 88. That's Hayden Meehan, the junior for HFL.
Wow, and the Cougars are just, we didn't know what the 10-day layoff would do. It's not affecting them at all. They're making big plays all over the field, and I think Wayne is in a position where some of their players are trying to do too much. And, you know, that's an opportunity to score 3 touchdowns in 4 minutes for HFL here with the ball at the 15-yard line.
So as you said, Steve, it's going to be first down for HFL at the Wayne 15-yard line. 1:17 to go in the second quarter. Wazenreed, the man in motion. And here's the snap. It'll be a handoff to Derby. Derby will push ahead to the 10-yard line, so it'll be a pickup of about 5 yards. Clock will tick. HFL still has all 3 of their timeouts if they choose to take any.
Yep, there was a nice big hole there. Actually, I got to give credit to Alexander Garrow from Wayne for bringing Derby down there after only a 5-yard gain. When he got the ball in the backfield, he was pretty explosive. I thought he might even get more there.
So 2nd and 5 for the Cougars. And Joint's going to keep it, and he's going to get just about back to his own line of scrimmage. So looks like the HFL Cougars elect to take a timeout.
Yep, that was William Seymour who made the play on the defensive line, the 5'10", 225-pound junior with an assist to linebacker Cale Lawson. You know, HFL, we talk all the time about their ability to run, pass, mix in different options and with the play calling. Derby has been so effective that, you know, you come back with a counter and it was Joint there, but they were not fooled. The Wayne defense was well prepared right there.
This timeout brought to you by Main Street Cafe. Take a break with Main Street Cafe, your hometown cafe located at 58 North Main Street in the village of Honeoye Falls. Coffee, espressos, smoothies, shakes, paninis, pizza, salad, and more. Be sure to ask about their catering services and how they can help create a unique menu for your next special event.
So I believe the down marker across the field is incorrect, but our graphic is correct. 3rd and 4. Now I think that the Cougars have options, and if they do come up short, we might see Carbonell for the field goal, but we'll see what they can do here on 3rd down with the field spread.
So Wazenreed, again, the man in motion. He'll move to the top of your screen. Joint's going to fire it, and that's going to be caught, and Lustig is in yet again for another HFL touchdown.
Wow.
Lustig is just having a night. He has not been stopped at all, and he finds the Meehan Architecture end zone yet again.
And Reese Joint with a great job getting that ball into a tight spot. Lustig with that size there, again, 6'4", 195. He catches the ball. He's hard to bring down. He's got a big catch radius, and he was able to kind of lean and grind and fall into the end zone. And what a finish to the first half by the Cougars.
Low snap. Carbonell able to get the kick up, and it's good. So it'll be 34-0 in favor of the Cougars here as we are just over 30 seconds away from halftime. So HFL will have a kickoff, and we'll see what Wayne elects to do. They do get the ball to start the second half. They have one timeout to work with. Steve, what do you think the Eagles are going to come out here and do? Are they going to just take a knee and go to half and, talk things over, or are they going to try and make something happen here with the last 32, 33 seconds?
I think you've got to see what they get with the return. And if the ball is anywhere inside of their own 35, I think they take a knee. I mean, these last 4 minutes have been disastrous for Wayne, as great as they've been for the Cougars. If they're able to have a positive play, maybe pop a big return, then you take a chance. But these 3 touchdowns in 3 minutes, it's a lot to recover from, and you really, Coach Marine and his staff are going to go in at halftime and try and build their team up, and you can't, I don't think you can risk another negative play.
So this kickoff brought to you by Honeoye Falls Marketplace Curbside Pickup is now available at Honeoye Falls Marketplace Grocery. Lose the frustration of inaccurate orders and keep the convenience. And as we are reading our kickoff sponsor,
yep,
we have another fumble.
A second fumble on another kickoff, and it was recovered by Andrew Childs, but it sounds like the runner apprentice is going to be ruled down and the Eagles will maintain the ball. But the HFL special teams have been flying. They've made huge plays tonight.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Eagles, but just to remind you, lose the frustration of inaccurate orders and keep the convenience of having your groceries ready for drive-through pickup at Honeoye Falls Marketplace. Getting started is easy at HoneoyeFallsMarketplace.com. So the Eagles catch a break. They were ruled down by contact, so they will come out here and just elect to take a knee here with 26 seconds left. That's rolling clock now, so that'll probably do it here for the first half, as both teams will go to their respective sides of the field and start to talk this one over. Now, before we give a quick recap, let's take some time here to thank some of tonight's sponsors, starting with Honeoye Falls Marketplace. Love the convenience of curbside pickup, but fear unpacking your groceries? The beauty of having experienced grocery people picking your orders is exactly what you want. So leave the shopping to your friends at Honeoye Falls Marketplace Grocery. Lose the frustration of inaccurate orders and keep the convenience of having your groceries ready for drive-through pickup at Honeoye Falls Marketplace. Made from scratch baked goods to hand-cut meat, vegan, and everything in between. Getting started is easy at HoneoyeFallsMarketplace.com. Also, Salvatore's Old Fashioned Pizzeria, your healthy, fast, local choice for pizza in the village of Honeoye Falls. Order dinner after the big game tonight at 582-2525 or online at salvatores.com. And lastly, we have Meehan Architecture. Rob specifically asked me not to read an ad, but rather just, quote, talk about football. So we'll take this opportunity to talk about that first half. Steve, you want to give us a quick breakdown of what we just saw?
Well, we just saw Honeoye Falls-Lima Cougars come out and with just a tidal wave of offense in the last 4 minutes of the first half to turn a 14-0 game into a 34-0 game. Wayne had 2 turnovers, very costly. When HFL took over at midfield with about 4 minutes left, we thought they would look to run clock and go in up 3 touchdowns. They scored quickly and were able to get 2 more turnovers. It's 34-0, and it's basically been Reese Joint and Patrick Lustig have been on the same page. There's been no answer from the Wayne defense. Joint has 4 touchdown passes, 3 of them to Lustig, and they're doing it any way they want. They're going up top, they're going with a slant, they're going with a screen, and you would never know that the Cougars had a 10-day pause, I will say that.
Yeah, and the media billed this game as a potential playoff preview, and there was talks of potentially an offensive shootout, maybe the likes of that Penfield U-Prep game we saw last night, but in fact it's been pretty one-sided, with HFL having a 34-0 lead here at halftime. So we'll take a quick break here at HFL. We'll be back with about 3 or 4 minutes left before the start of the second half, and we'll read through some of our other sponsors, and we'll give you some insights what to expect during this second half of play. Thanks for tuning in to the Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinels special presentation of Section 5 football live on the internet. We are back here at HFL, just under 2 minutes left in this halftime period. Want to give a shout out to some more of our sponsors. Main Street Cafe. Main Street Cafe is your hometown cafe located at 58 North Main Street in the village of Honeoye Falls. Every Monday is Milkshake Monday at Main Street Cafe with $5 large shakes. Or if you're in the mood for something else, try their coffee, espresso, smoothies, paninis, salads, or pizza. Be sure to ask about their catering services and how they can help create a unique menu for your next special event. Main Street Cafe prides itself on their fresh, made-to-order food and daily specials. Also, Salvatore's Old Fashioned Pizzeria, your healthy, fast, local choice for pizza in the village of Honeoye Falls. Order dinner after the big game tonight at 582-2525 or order online at salvatores.com. And finally, want to give a shout out to the Sentinel, who we are broadcasting through. You can visit their website for some of their weekly front page articles at mhflsentinel.com. You can like them on Facebook, follow them on Twitter and Instagram, and you can subscribe to us on YouTube as well as like tonight's broadcast. That certainly all helps us out, as we are now under 1 minute to go here in this halftime period. Steve, you want to give any insights and thoughts before we have the second half kickoff?
Yeah, Peter, I think what we just saw is the dangerous and playmaking ability of the HFL receivers on the perimeter has been the difference in this game. Reese Joyne has connected with them. We don't have stats on him. We know he's thrown 4 touchdown passes, but whenever he has needed a big play, he's just put the ball out there and his receivers have made plays. And, you know, looking big picture-wise, I was able to get a couple halftime scores. Batavia, which is 3-0 in Class B, leads Newark 28-14 in the fourth quarter. And Palmyra Macedon, which is HFL's opponent next week, is ahead of Midlake 7-0 at halftime. And, you know, if you're trying to get a gauge on how Class B is going to shape up and how the playoffs might work, if you're a Cougar fan, you've got to feel really good about your team and how they've looked and what they've done. In the second half, I'm going to look for HFL to maybe slow the game down a little bit, try and run some clock, prevent some injuries. And next week's game is on a Wednesday, so there's only six days to prepare. And with 6 days to prepare and all of the things that this team has shown, the versatility on offense, they're going to be difficult for Palmac to stop next week, in my opinion.
So HFL is going to be kicking off here to start this second half.
And if you're Wayne, Peter, you just want to start with positive plays leading into a positive drive and possibly scoring on this drive. I mean, teams have come back from 5 touchdown deficits before. It doesn't happen often, and it's not easy to do. But Coach Marine is a big picture thinker. He knows that there are other games ahead. There are other plays to be made, and you want to leave here feeling positive and not dwelling on the last 4 minutes of the first half.
Certainly, and Wayne has been in a somewhat similar position earlier this season. That Week 2 game against Batavia, they were down quite a bit there at halftime. They ended up making it a little bit more respectable by the end. The final score was 36-12.
I think it was 48-30. I think they both put up a lot of points that day. They chased them a little bit. I'm not sure. I'd have to look it up, but I think they were able to score more touchdowns because Dylan Vance broke out. And here we go with the second half.
And here comes Prentice for the Eagles, charging ahead, and he'll be tackled at the 30-yard line. That kickoff brought to you by Honeoye Falls Marketplace. Curbside pickup is now available at Honeoye Falls Marketplace Grocery. Lose the frustration of inaccurate orders and keep the convenience of having your groceries ready for drive-through pickup at Honeoye Falls Marketplace. Getting started is easy at HoneoyeFallsMarketplace.com. So the Eagles find themselves 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
And one of the things to remember with Wayne is a lot of their top playmakers are underclassmen. So they're getting a lot of experience here And with the experience of HFL and the seniors on that team, those physical matchups have gone the Cougars' way all night.
And here's Blankenberg with the quarterback keeper. He's got some nice downfield blocking, still on his feet up past midfield, and he'll be tackled at about the HFL 48-yard line. And then we have a late flag there behind the play, so we might have we'll have to see. It looks like HFL is acting as if it's against Wayne, but yeah, it is a dead ball spot against the Eagles. So a great first down play there by Wayne is going to be brought back, unfortunately.
Yeah, I believe that was the Eagles' best offensive play of the game. Blankenberg made a great run, and they will keep the first down. The first down will stand. But to give back those 15 yards right there is just the kind of penalty that you don't want to see. Obviously, it was a frustrating end to the first half for the Eagles, but you have to start fresh and move forward and put the negative plays behind you.
So the penalty will result in a first down now at the 37-yard line. Doubles formation for Wayne, and it'll be a pass out to number 24 for the Eagles. That's Alexander Garrow, who will pick up about 2 yards on that reception.
And that looks a lot, Peter, like the play that the Cougars ran for the second Lustig touchdown, where it was a screen with the inside block. The Cougar defense was able to defend it very well there, though.
2nd and 8 now, and this is a handoff to Andy Hamill.
And there's number 6, Patrick Lustig, in on the tackle again. If he's not doing it on offense, he's doing it on defense.
So the Hamill carry will result in a pickup of 4 yards, so it'll bring up 3rd and about 4 for the Eagles. Opening possession of the second half. Blankenberg gonna throw it, and that's gonna be caught. So a first down reception. That's to
88, Brady Chimenti there ran a nice little curl route, and very well thrown ball there by Blankenberg that Chimenti was cutting in, and it was thrown low where only he could catch it. And a much needed first down for the Cougars, or for the Eagles, after they had the penalty cost them that 15 yards.
So the third down pass conversion brings up 1st and 10 at the HFL 41, and this is going to be a handoff to Hamill for Wayne, and he's going to be met quickly by a pair of HFL players. I think he'll ultimately pick up a yard, so it'll bring up 2nd and 9 for Wayne.
And I think Wayne is just trying to find its rhythm and focus on itself here. I'm sure the message at halftime was to go out and try and win the second half and not try and score 5 touchdowns at once. And so far on this drive, with the exception of the penalty, they've done a good job.
The second down play is going to be a swing pass to Hamill, and he'll be wrestled down at the 34-yard line. So a nice pickup there on the pitch and catch to Hamill, and it'll set up 3rd and about 4.
Yeah, with Hamill and Vance and Blankenberg and Garrow, they're the top playmakers. They're going to move around and try and find matchups that the Eagles can exploit. And that formation there, that was a good job of getting the ball to Hamill and giving a third down that's makeable.
So 3rd and 4 for Wayne. It's going to be a handoff to Dylan Vance, and he's going to get pushed back. Forward progress will get him back to the line of scrimmage, but he did take somewhat of a late shot there by HFL. They're letting him know that he's not getting that first down. So it's going to bring up, actually no, they're going to say it was ultimately a loss of 1, so it'll be 4th and about 5.
And a real good play by the Cougars defense there. I was a little surprised that they tell you to play to the whistle, but that was very close to the whistle. I was a little surprised we didn't see a flag.
So on 4th down, Blankenberg's going to try and throw, and he's going to be wrapped up and sacked.
Wow.
Number 58 for HFL. That's Mitchell Bowling.
And Mitchell Bowling has had good pressure on the quarterback all night long. I think he shared a sack with Nolan Yates in the first half, and he had great pressure there, beat his man off the block. And Mason Blankenberg is not easy to take down. He did a good job wrapping him up and forcing the turnover on downs.
Yeah, big play there by Mitchell Bowling, who he's one of those guys who plays two ways. He's a cornerstone of that Cougar offensive line. He plays left tackle for HFL as the offense for the Cougars is now back out on the field at their own 47-yard line. At the first down play, they're going to hand off Derby. He was able to break one tackle, and he'll fall just about a yard shy of the first down, so it'll be second and short for the Cougars.
And that is just about vintage Jacob Derby right there. Very tough to bring down on first contact. Bounces off the tackler, gets 3 or 4 more yards, and actually the officials are going to spot it, so it's a first down carry, gain of 10.
So I expect with the score the way it is to see a healthy dose of Jacob Derby, as well as the backup running back for the Cougars, number 33, Zachary Meacham, in the remainder of this game.
I think so too. I mean, Coach Russ has some interesting decisions to make about player management, just in terms of coming off of the pause, but having a game to play in 6 days. And ball's on the turf there. It's recovered by 61 for Wayne. So Cougars will go back on defense. That was
Devin Force recovers for HFL, and that's been the storyline tonight for both teams, has been ball security. I don't know what it is. It's it was 70+ degrees at kickoff. It's probably cooled down now somewhere in the 60s, but no moisture. And both teams just seem to have a problem holding on to that football, as this time it's Derby who coughs up the ball. That leads to a Wayne turnover, so the Eagles will come back out onto the field. 1st and 10 at their own 41. This is Dylan Vance to the bottom of your screen. He's going to pick up a first down run and be shoved out of bounds at about the 48-yard line. So a nice first down run there by Dylan Vance for the Eagles.
Very nice run. They got Vance to the outside, and he was not even touched until he had first down yardage. He got the corner, turned his shoulders, and made a nice play.
And certainly I think Wayne can build on that first possession of the second half here. They had a nice little drive put together. They didn't score as they go back to Vance again. He'll pick up, call it 4.
And Nolan Yates there again to make the stop for the Cougars. Earlier in the year, we were seeing most of his big plays on special teams, but he's showing that he can be a regular contributor on defense too.
And Vance seemed to be a little bit shaky as he got up. He'll trot off to the sideline, and checking in for him is number 11, Josh Harrison for the Wayne Eagles.
Coach Marine in the pregame discussions talked about the toughness of Dylan Vance and how he's tough, difficult to bring down, and rarely comes down on first contact, and he took a big shot there.
This handoff goes to Hamill for the Wayne Eagles.
And that looked like bowling again with it stood him up after a short gain. The HFL defense up front has been doing a great job. 4 of 5 Wayne's offensive linemen play both ways, so maybe a little bit of fatigue and players getting worn down here, and HFL has been able to use its physicality to make some very positive plays.
And here's a handoff to Hamill, and he'll get the line to gain. So it'll be a pickup of enough for the first down. So it'll bring up 1st and 10 for the Eagles at the 38-yard line.
And Wayne is putting together a nice drive here, and I think this is an example of them doing what we thought they would do and just focus on themselves.
And here's Blankenberg with the pass, and that's going to be caught and immediately dropped. That was Jacob Derby on the tackle of Jack Wright, number 7 for the Wayne Eagles.
Yeah, good play by both players there. They're both tough kids that play both ways. Derby a punishing runner, and in that case a punishing tackler.
So 2nd and 7 for Wayne at the HFL 35-yard line.
Blankenberg has not run as much in this drive. I think that HFL is really focusing on the execution of its plays. The line is held up a little bit better, so he hasn't had to scramble to create, but don't forget he's dangerous with his feet.
And that pass will be incomplete. Blankenberg was looking out to his left. I believe that was in the direction of Garo.
And I think it's important to remember, too, Peter, that Blankenberg hurt his passing wrist in the Batavia game, and he actually had to leave that game, and Reynolds came in. He played last week at about 85% against Bishop Kearney, and maybe we're seeing some of those effects there because a couple of the throws have not been as pinpoint as you would normally see from Mason Blankenberg.
So another critical third down here for the Eagles inside HFL territory, as they seem to not be all on the same page. They didn't have the right package on the field, so Wayne elects to take a timeout here with 4:23 left in the third quarter. Do you need a timeout? Take a break with Main Street Cafe, your hometown cafe located at 58 North Main Street in the village of Honeoye Falls. Coffee, espresso, smoothies, shakes, paninis, salads, pizza, and more. Be sure to check out their daily specials on Facebook.
And, the third quarter is going by pretty fast, Peter. Both teams are keeping the ball on the ground a little bit. HFL, I'm sure, is content to see the clock keep moving. And Wayne just looking to build positive momentum. If things stay as they are, the Eagles will be 2-2 coming out of tonight's game. And I think that, to get into the playoffs, to remove any doubt of making the playoffs, you want to be 4-2 and not 3-3. So I think they're just looking for positives and to get ready for next week's game.
And this third down is 7 yards to go. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here if they don't pick it up. I wouldn't be surprised if they elect to go for it on fourth down.
I would expect them to.
So Blankenberg will throw. Check that. He's going to do a draw handoff to number 9 for the Eagles. That's Andy Hamill, and that was quickly sniffed out by the Cougars, and it's going to be a loss of yardage, significant loss. It's going to set up 4th and 15. So from 3 and 7 to 4 and 15, and looks like they're going to elect to bring the punting unit out with Alec Reynolds.
I think that makes sense. Jacob Derby and Carson Joint kind of met Hamill in the backfield. That was a delayed play, and it just didn't open up. And there's no sense if you don't get the first down. You're giving the ball to the Cougars almost at midfield, and that's not a play that you need to make right now.
So Reynolds here with the punt. Colt Green back deep for the Cougars. He's going to run up, and actually that's going to go out of bounds well early at the, we'll call it 27-yard line.
It is a 27-yard line. It looks like the Cougars are making some substitutions, Peter. Reese Joint is staying in the game, but you've got Meacham in the game, and you got Benjamin Carson coming in at one of the receiver spots. So looks like the Cougars are starting to manage the playing time and try to keep in an effort to keep everybody healthy.
So first and goal from the 23. It's going to be a pass. Here's Joint firing over the middle, and that's going to be off the outstretched hands of Colt Green.
And wow, that was a near miss. I love the fact that the Cougars came out throwing and that they're working through their playbook and they're trying to get their timing down. And I think that's all that is. They're not trying to do anything more than that, but just click and make sure that they're on schedule moving forward, because with this condensed season, the focus is on your own team and improving.
And with so many weapons here for HFL, it seems to be somewhat of a struggle to get the ball to everyone. Like we were saying earlier, well, Lustig led the team week 1, and then week 2 he was kind of quiet, and then, tonight it's certainly been the Patrick Lustig show as Zach Meacham there carries it for the Cougars for a pickup of about 4 yards.
Yeah, and I mean that's another thing that makes the Cougars so difficult to prepare for, because so many people can make plays. Derby appears to be the bread and butter guy out of the backfield, but when you look at the receivers, we've seen Colt Green have a big game. We've seen Wanzen Reed make big plays. We've seen Nolan Smith make big plays, and of course, Patrick Lustig with 3 touchdowns tonight has been almost unstoppable.
Yeah, I mean there hasn't been much running for the Cougars tonight, but that game against Bishop Kearney did see a pretty good balance between Meacham and Derby, as we have another rush here for HFL. That's number 11, I believe, Aiden Gould for the Cougars on third down. So it'll be enough for the first down. So it'll bring up 1st and 10. at about the 37-yard line.
Nice job on the sweep there. Gould was patient, followed his blockers, and made enough yardage to keep the clock rolling. So HFL kind of needed that to keep the rhythm of the game, and you know, a nice positive play as we head towards the fourth quarter.
So here's the handoff for HFL. Russian attempt. Didn't catch the number there on the ball carrier, but it will result in positive yards, about a pickup of 2 or 3 yards, and it looks like we have an injury for the Cougars.
Yeah, that's Zachary Meacham, Peter. He was the ball carrier, and there was a big pile there, and he started to get up, and then he felt something, and he's on the field now being attended to by the trainer.
Yeah, we hope this isn't too serious. Again, Meacham led the Cougars week 1 in rushing yards, and he finished the week 2 with 72, only trailing Derby's 88 yards. So he's been a critical member of this offense. Certainly gives Derby, who's a two-way player, a bit of a break when needed. So if this is serious and will result in any sort of loss in playing time for Meacham, that'll be detrimental to this Cougar offense.
And he's such a good complement to Derby. He's getting up and walking off, which is a positive sign. But those two backs are part of what makes this HFL offense so versatile and difficult to defend. With Meacham's size at 6'2" and 180, he's difficult to break down, and he's you know, a little bit different style runner than Derby, so that teams, you know, really have to adjust when the Cougars spread the ball around.
Yeah, and Meacham was able to walk off under his own power, looked to be a little bit more frustrated than anything, so it doesn't seem to be too serious, which is certainly a good sign for HFL. We'll have to monitor to see if he checks back in at all, as Reese Joint's going to throw the ball, roll out to his right, now back to his right, and throws a diving catch to the far side there.
That's our guy, James Killenbeck again. He's not one of the starting receivers, but he did an excellent job, Peter, of seeing his quarterback being in trouble and coming back to the ball. They didn't make the line to gain for the first down, but Joint, showing his elusiveness, was able to hit Killenbeck and, you know, put the Cougars in a place where it's 3rd and 3.
And that ball had some pretty good velocity on it for Joint kind of shuffling around in the backfield there, as we have 3rd and 2, just under a minute to go. It's going to be a handoff to Derby, who's going to fall ahead for first down yardage.
And I think that's the new element that we've seen from Joint tonight. I mean, he's been great with 6 touchdown passes in the first 2 games, 4 more tonight for 10 on the season. But he's shown an ability to throw on the run tonight, and that's something that we didn't see in the first 2 games. So it's a new dimension, a new element, and something more for opposing defenses to prepare for.
Yeah, certainly being able to extend the play is going to be something that'll pose a challenge for any defense that HFL faces, as we have 1st and 10 here from the HFL 48. Joint again going to throw. He's going to find a wide open player. That's number 10, Benjamin Carson, who's still on his feet, and then shoved out about the 25-yard line. So a big play there for Ben Carson. His 2nd catch of the season is going to result in a first down for HFL out to the Wayne 25-yard line.
And Carson has good size. He's 6'2", 170, and it's nice to see some of these players that are backups getting to run with the first unit offense and show that if they are needed and called upon, that they can make plays.
And Ben Carson is one of those guys who was part of that basketball team that just fell short of 1 game in the Class A2 Section 5 basketball championship game only, I believe, 4 weeks ago. As on first down, Joint's going to keep it. He's got the outside edge, got a good block, still on his feet, and he's going to score.
Reese Joint, have a night, huh?
This time he does it with his legs. What a great block there on the far side. Didn't catch who it was, but the seal block gave Joint all the room he needed to find the Meehan Architecture end zone. So it's now 40-0 in favor of the Cougars, as we have a injured Wayne player out on the field.
And Joint showing some real speed there, Peter. When he's been in the pocket and moving around, you've seen the lateral quickness. But there's a difference between quickness and speed. And when he got to the corner, we saw that he had speed, and he turned it on, and there was nobody that was going to catch him.
So a big touchdown there for Joint. That's his first rushing touchdown of the season, and we have just under a second left in the third quarter. HFL will attempt the point after once the player for Wayne is able to get off the field. I can't read the number there. Trainers from both sides are attending to him now. That'll give us a chance to remind you to follow the Sentinel online. You can visit our website, mhflsentinel.com, for weekly articles as well as the digital edition of the weekly paper. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter as well as Instagram, and you can also subscribe to us on YouTube and like tonight's broadcast. And that was number 61, Devin Forrest, for the Wayne Eagles, who's able to walk off the field under his own power, which is certainly a good thing to see, Steve.
Very good thing to see. Devin Forrest starts on both lines for the Eagles. He has been a real force on defense for them this year. And like you said, Peter, it's good to see him walk off the field. I'm sure that he's frustrated right now, but if you're Wayne right now, you just want to get out of here as healthy as you can and get ready for your game next week.
So here's Carbonell on the point after attempt. It is up and good.
Was that deflected? It looked like it may have been, but he had enough leg strength to get it through. And I think that's another thing that we've learned tonight is that Carbonell's range. He may be able to go 35, 40 yards if the Cougars need him to. They haven't tonight or yet this season, but if they're in a situation where they need him to kick a field goal, I think he's shown that he can be reliable.
And with that, that'll be the end of the third quarter, so we will take a minute here to thank some of tonight's sponsors, including Alexander Enterprises. For nearly 30 years, Alexander Enterprises has been one of Rochester's most trusted contractors. They specialize in home remodeling, renovations, additions, kitchens, bathrooms, garages, new builds, decks, and painting. Give them a call before your next project at 624-9120. And Fly Control Services, a family-owned and operated professional pest control company serving all of Western New York and the Finger Lakes for 4 decades. Inside or out, home or business, they'll help you keep the bugs away. Give them a call at 704-8329. So thank you to all of the sponsors who make broadcasts like this possible. Without you, we wouldn't be able to provide live coverage of HFL athletics, especially in these trying times where there's a spectator capacity limit. We've received a lot of feedback from friends, family, community members across the country. So it is, it's certainly, a great feeling for us to be able to help all the viewers out at home who otherwise are not able to attend games this season.
Yeah, the feedback has really been sensational, Peter, and with everything that's gone on and with COVID and spring football and all of the uncertainty, it's just great to be out here, be here with you and have some fun watching kids have fun and do what they love.
So Prentice returns that one for Wayne, and it'll be spotted at the, I believe, 27, 28-yard line. That kickoff was brought to you by Honeoye Falls Marketplace. Curbside pickup is now available at Honeoye Falls Marketplace Grocery. Lose the frustration of inaccurate orders and keep the convenience of having your groceries ready for drive-through pickup at Honeoye Falls Marketplace. Getting started is easy at HoneoyeFallsMarketplace.com.
And Peter, a couple of scores of interest for Cougar fans. Batavia has won its game, defeating Newark 28-20. So the Blue Devils moved to 4-0. So HFL certainly looking like they can keep pace. And Palmyra Macedon, HFL's opponent next Wednesday, has a 7-0 lead right now over. I believe they're playing Mid Lakes, and the game is at East Rochester. So that game's a little closer than maybe we thought it might. But Mid Lakes has a new coach in Dave Whitcomb, who's a Hall of Famer, and is on the way up. But Palmac will certainly have a lot to prepare for to face the Cougars next week.
So the first down run there for Wayne resulted in a pickup of 5. I believe that was Garrow on the carry.
Yeah, Garrow is one of those young playmakers for the Eagles that are getting a lot of live reps on varsity. He's a 5'10", 170-pound freshman, and he's making a lot of contributions on defense, and he has made some big plays on offense. I think he's their number 2 or number 3 receiver, and good chance to get him some reps in a situation where they may need him later this year.
Also worth noting that they did make a change at quarterback. Checking in on this possession for the Eagles, number 12, Alec Reynolds.
So the interesting thing about Reynolds is that he's grown 4 inches and gained 20 or 30 pounds since the fall. So he's 6'2", 180 now, and he's able to do things on the field that he wouldn't have been able to do if the season was played in the fall. And he's too good of an athlete not to get on the field.
And Reynolds' pass there goes to number 4, Dylan Vance. That'll result in a first down. Reynolds did see some playing time earlier this season coming in tonight. He was 12 for 23, 127, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions as he throws a nice first down pass to Dylan Vance for the Eagles.
And you referenced the interview that Jeff DeVeronica and I had with Mason Blankenberg on our Connors and Ferris radio show. One thing that was there is Mason takes very good care of himself health-wise. Coming off that injury, I think it's a safe move to maybe give him some rest so that he is at his best for the last 2 games of the regular season for the Eagles.
And here's Garro getting wrapped up in the backfield for HFL. That's 88. That's Hayden Meehan for the Cougars, who gets the tackle for the loss. So it'll bring up 2nd and 14.
And I think, Peter, with the impressive showing by the Cougar offense, we can't overlook the defense. I mean, to keep Wayne scoreless through three and a quarter quarters is a pretty impressive feat. The Eagles have moved the ball a couple times, but the Cougars have made every play they needed to, whether getting a sack or a turnover or a play to force a turnover on down. So a great showing by them tonight.
And the Cougars have only given up 6 points total this offense through now 2 3/4 of a game, as Dylan Vance tries to change that statistic as he rushes ahead for a Wayne first down, up now to the HFL 37-yard line.
And it's good to see Vance back in the game. First of all, he did walk off with an injury. And secondly, that is a perfect example of the determined running style that he has. When he was called up to varsity as a freshman last year, he was used mostly as a slot because he was young. The playbook was a lot to take in. But now that he is more comfortable, Wayne is moving him all over the field, finding different ways for him to make a play. And he's a very capable receiver and runner.
So here's first down. It's going to be a handoff for Wayne. That's number 37 for the Eagles.
Yeah, that's Sean Nellis, 32, Peter. He's a real tough kid. Coach Marine talked about him too, and just that when he gets the ball, it's usually in a shorter yardage situation, but he tends to make conversions. So he was good there. If it was 3rd and 1, he'd have gotten you 3 for a first down. It was 1st and 10, and he got you 3 for a 2nd and 7 or 2nd and 8.
So clock ticking here in the 4th quarter, now under 8 minutes, as we have 2nd and 8 for the Wayne Eagles at the HFL 35-yard line. Pistol formation for Wayne. Reynolds from the gun. He'll hand it off to number 22 for the Eagles. It's Cal Lawson for the Eagles.
And that was a good tackle, too, by number 22 for the Cougars. That is Jaden Kuhn. And we're starting to give the defense a little bit of love. Even with the score 41-0 like it is, Kuhn was in there making an attempt to take the ball away. And so that aggressive defensive tackling style carries on throughout the roster.
So here's a critical 3rd down for the Eagles. It's going to be a pass, and in and out of the hands of Sean Nealis for Wayne. So had to bring that pass in, and I think he had enough green space in front of him where he would have been at least able to get enough for the first down, but instead it'll be a incompletion, and Wayne's going to keep their offense on the field. Their backup quarterback who's in, Reynolds, is also their punter as well, so maybe you could see a little bit of trickery, but it looks like they're just going to line up in a typical offensive set here, doubles formation shotgun. 4th down for Wayne. Reynolds going to throw, and that's going to be too far for Garo. So that's going to be a turnover on downs for the Wayne Eagles. So coming back out onto the field is the HFL Cougar offense. And I believe Brody Young is going to be checking in for HFL, the backup quarterback. He had a brilliant pass for a touchdown to Andrew Childs in week 2 against Bishop Kearney.
Yep, and that's exactly what the Cougars are going to do here. It seems like the perfect time to do that. And little shout out to number 34, Griffin Mayo. He had the coverage there on Garrow. The play was a little late, but Mayo was there, and there was, even if the play was close, there wasn't going to be extra yardage there. So across the board, the defense is well positioned and doing its job.
And Griffin Mayo, one of those other players for HFL who's a multi-sport athlete. Before he was able to play with the combined hockey team, he tried diving for HFL and actually was able to score a perfect score. So certainly something impressive as Brody Young's pass to number 9, Andrew Childs, is a first down.
It was actually only the second perfect 10 in HFL diving history, in the first one since 1998. And Griffin finished second in sectionals and diving, and he never really dived other than for fun. And Coach Ari Friedman-Weiss just raved about his work ethic and his ability to improve. And then when the hockey season came along, he scored a lot of big goals too. So it's really cool to see so many athletes taking advantage of new opportunities this year. One of the few positives that has come through all of the other things that we've been through.
So doubles for the Cougars. Young gonna throw, and that's too far outside. He was looking towards Ben Carson. So the first down play will result in a incompletion.
And what you're seeing here is that the Cougars playbook, the coaching staff wants to make sure that Brody Young is comfortable if they need him in more desperate situations. And we talked about the pass he made to Carson against Bishop Kearney, but I think this is just really a chance to see what he can do. And with him being a junior and Reese Joint being a senior, the next season is not that far away. So this is a pretty good audition for him.
On second down here, Young's going to throw again, and that was off the hands of Aiden Gould, and it fell harmlessly to the turf on.
Yeah, and that was a play that was
down.
there. It didn't work, but it's a play that you want to run and just see what guys can do in game situations.
So 3rd and 10 now for the Cougars at their own 43-yard line. Again, doubles formation for HFL. Young operating out of the shotgun, and he's going to pass yet again. This time he completes it to Andrew Childs, and looks like Childs is going to be marked just shy a yard. So it'll bring up 4th and 1. Cougars now inside Wayne territory.
And that was just a super effort there by Childs too, to get all that he could. He caught the ball maybe 2 or 3 yards short of the line to gain, and by lunging forward and giving that extra effort, he puts HFL in a 4th and 1 situation.
So we'll see what HFL elects to do on 4th down, operating out of the gun. They're kind of deep if they're going to just run the ball here, starting 5 yards back. It's actually going to be a pooch kick.
Good call there, Peter. You noticed that right away, that there was something a little bit tricky with the formation, and it's the old pooch kick. You see that from time to time, and that was Brody Young that did it, right?
Yep.
And again, just getting some things on tape, showing the arsenal of the playbook, and moving forward, letting time roll by, and maybe trying to keep the advantage that HFL has really had all night in the field position game.
And as the 4th quarter continues to roll on, that'll give us a nice opportunity here to plug next week's games. Wayne will be home against Geneva on the 14th, and HFL will be home again against Palmyra Macedon. Next Wednesday's game for HFL will be senior night. So depending on what their plan is for festivities, our broadcast will more than likely start a little bit early to be sure to capture some of the moments pregame next Wednesday.
And, you know, that HFL game could be very important in terms of sectionals, both for the Cougars and for the Red Raiders. For the Cougars, more probably in terms of positioning. They look like they're in a good spot to get either the 1 or 2 seed. And then the Red Raiders might be a team that's on that 3-4 line. And, you know, a team that HFL could theoretically end up seeing a couple times in the next few weeks.
Now, you said that the score between Batavia and Newark was 28-20, right?
Right.
Now, that's interesting considering that Newark played HFL Week 1 and HFL blanked them 34-0. Unfortunately, Batavia and HFL don't play each other at all during the regular season, so we won't get an opportunity to really see how those teams would fare against one another until sectionals. But taking a close look at some of their common opponents is certainly interesting.
It is, and we both watched Batavia play Bishop Kearney in our preparation for that game, and we know that the Batavia has a fantastic running back named Therese Smith. He had 305 yards and 5 touchdowns last week in a game against Burgard out of Buffalo. But that Newark score was maybe a little closer than I thought. But in this crazy season, each week you really don't know what's going to happen because, first of all, they're high school kids, and you know things happen, and you know, you don't know if that was a turnover game or, you know, Newark has gotten better too, so that gap has changed. So I do think that as the season rolls on, people would be eyeing an HFL Batavia matchup if it were to materialize. But you know, all football coaches will tell you that the most important game is the next one, and that's looking ahead probably a little farther than Coach Briggs at Batavia or Coach Russ from Honeoye Falls-Lima would want to do.
So Wayne was able to pick up the first down on the previous rush play. They come back running the ball again, going with Sean Nellis. So we are now under 3 minutes here in the fourth quarter. HFL leading the Wayne Eagles 41-0. Certainly, I think the score is a surprise to everyone watching.
And really, even though HFL has had 3 turnovers, it's the last 4 minutes of the first half that just completely changed the complexion of this game.
Reynolds rolling out to his left. He's going to fire, and that's going to be in and out of the hands of Michael Prentice. I think he would have been able to score there if he was able to haul it in.
I do too, Peter. He was behind the defense, and Prentice has a lot of speed. He's another one of those young players. He's just a freshman, and I think as time goes on and his game matures, that's a play that you'll see him make almost every time from here on out.
And that was probably the best opportunity for the Eagles tonight. And they could not haul in the pass. So it'll bring up 3rd and 7 here at the HFL 49-yard line. Nice job, though, by Reynolds, able to get outside the pocket and put the ball right where it needed to be.
Yeah, he did make a nice throw there, and he's gotten some time there. There's a really nice run right there by number 22. He's going to take it inside the red zone. Cale Lawson.
Cale Lawson, yeah, picks up a good chunk of yards. Good chunk of yards for Wayne. It's going to bring them inside the red zone. I believe this is only their second red zone appearance here this evening. Now under 2 minutes to play. Wayne will try and probably punch the ball into the end zone here in the closing minutes of the fourth quarter. See if they can break that goose egg.
That was a fantastic third down play call too, because the Eagles had just missed on a long downfield pass, and the draw play was there, and they were able to get a big chunk of yardage.
So Cale Lawson again on first down.
In that Cougar defensive line, Peter, I think we have to give them a lot of credit. You know, both the starting group and the second group, they have been stout all night and risen to the occasion every time. You don't get to 1 minute left in the game with a team like Wayne having 0 points without a great effort from your defensive line.
So now under 1 minute to go here in the fourth quarter, second and call it 9. Here's Reynolds rolling out to his right. He's going to launch it in towards the end zone, and that's incomplete. Pass intended for number 24, Alexander Garo.
And that was a great play by Reynolds to extend it with his legs. It was a little bit like we've seen Reese Joint do all night. It wasn't there initially. He was able to escape the pocket, buy some time, and make a pretty good throw. It would have been a tough catch for Garrow, but it's a catch that, again, Garrow being another freshman that maybe next year or in 2 years he makes pretty regularly.
So now third down for the Eagles. They're going to hand off and not get a whole lot, maybe 2 yards.
So the last time on third down, the Eagles were able to use that drop play and get big yardage. This time the Cougars were ready. They lived and they learned.
So clock continues to roll here under 30 seconds, and it's fourth down for Wayne. We'll see if they elect to just run this clock out and call it a game, as we are now under 15. So yeah, it looks like they don't have to snap the ball again. They're going to elect to end this one. So Cougars come out on top 41-0. They're going to move to 3-0 on the season. Wayne falls to 2-2. Steve, any thoughts?
Just a super impressive outing tonight by Honeoye Falls-Lima. They scored on the first drive, and after a little bit of a couple shaky possessions in the first quarter, Reese Joint, Patrick Lustig got going. 3 touchdowns in the last 4 minutes of the first half, made it 34-0 at halftime, and HFL was ready to roll from there. I do want our crew did a super job tonight. A shout out, to our crew, Caleb and Luke and Caleb, and also Peter. Thanks to both coaching staffs too. We do prepare a lot for these games, and both Coach Marine at Wayne and Coach Russ at HFL gracious enough with their time to give us the insight so that we can hopefully bring that to our viewers.
Yep, and there was certainly a lot of questions coming into this one for HFL, and they certainly stepped up to the plate and capitalized on the opportunity to get a signature win. So the final again, 41-0. That's going to do it here for us at HFL. Again, special thanks to our crew, Caleb Cooley and Luke Mendrick, who are guys behind the camera, helped make this thing possible. So until next Wednesday, April 14th, game time is 7 p.m. against Pal Mac, although be sure to check regularly on our Twitter and Instagram accounts for when the broadcast will officially start. It's senior week next week for HFL. Until then, I'm Peter Caroso alongside Stephen Bradley. Farewell and good night.